So we just got The Last of Us season 2, episode 2, and the thing that we've all been waiting to happen has happened. For those of us that played the game, already knew what was coming. This is your spoiler warning for this episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. All right. So, in this episode of The Last of Us, Joel is murdered. Abby exacts her revenge on him for killing her father. The thing about this episode that I don't like is that I feel like they're just going back on what they did in the game. Okay. So, I feel like they know that they messed up by killing Joel the way they did in the game, the way they had people feeling and things like that, because they revealed so early on what Abby's motivations were, why she's hunting Joel and everything. And I feel like that takes away from what the people watching the show feel, because I'm not trying to say, oh, they should feel the exact same thing that the people who played the game felt, but why do you have to go back on that? Why reveal that so early? That's such a huge twist later on in the game. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing, or you know what I'm saying, but that's such a big reveal. Like, I'm not even a huge fan of The Last of Us 2. I prefer the first game. I prefer the first game story. But if you're gonna do it, do it. You already did it once. You already messed with everybody who played the game. So why in fact change it just for the TV adaptation? You're not giving the people watch the show the same experience of the people who play the game. I don't like that. I feel like we should be getting equal experience. Now imagine the people who go to play the game because they watch the show. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's already going to be revealed to them either way because they watched the show before playing the game. But come on, man. Like, imagine they're like, I'm gonna start playing this or whatever. So that's where I'm like, nah, y'all revealed that way, way too early. As far as the rest of the episode goes, I really enjoyed it. Tommy fighting that bloater with the flamethrower was crazy, was good. That whole scene with the horde swarming Jackson was amazing. The use of practical effects in there. If you guys don't stay after the show, they do a little after show. They talk about it a little bit and things like that. You guys should really check that out as well. But either way, this episode was done very well. I felt like, the Blizzard played a very good played a very good role, its own character in this whole thing. You see that the fungi, what is the name? How am I forgetting the name of the fungi right now? Cordyceps, Jesus, how they're smart. They're hiding under their own body, willing to sacrifice some of it to keep some of it alive. They've moved into the town through the pipes and things like that. I feel like the show is very well done. This was, you could tell this is an HBO show. It had the visuals, it did what it needed to do. The excitement was there. But overall, this episode, as far as the episode of television, uh, as far as an epic, maybe like an 8 out of 10. But personally, to me, I feel like it was a 7 out of 10. What really is dragging the story down for me right now is that the audience already knows what Abby's motivations are. So for me personally, I feel like this is just their way of trying to reinforce that Abby is an anti-hero in some way or another, because that's literally something that they said, when at the end of the day, a lot of us just see her as a villain. And especially us who played the game and didn't get the reveal until later, she was just a villain. She was just a bad person who did something bad. And I get it. I understand it. You kind of put us in the shoes of her whenever she went to go kill Joel, but you changed it. You manipulated it. You know what I mean? You want us to feel for Abby. You want to give her so much sympathy at the very beginning so we don't hate her. Like a lot of us don't hate her, and it's not so divisive like the game was. I can't applaud that. That is not commendable. You go through with what you want to do. You go through with it. You know what I mean? Like, just accept the fact that you may have made a mistake. Give the audience that's watching the show the same experience as the people who played the game. That's all I'm saying. I don't feel like it's fair, and I don't feel like you've done this properly. So it's bringing the show down to me a little bit, because don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm a bigger fan of The Last of Us season 1 and The Last of Us part 1. I don't like the story as much in the part two, but I'm going into the show optimistic. I know what happens. Yeah, I know what happens. So like, I'm more willing to look at the show optimistically and, not judge it from based on my personal preferences, just judge it based on its as a show on its own, and the acting and the directing and things like that, which was well done, but the writing is not that great. Ellie, I still don't, she's not Ellie from the game. You know what I mean? Not to me personally. I feel like she still, has that attitude, that thing about her that makes her kind of unlikable. You know what I mean? And now that Joel is gone, what are you going to do with the show? Can Bella Ramsey as Ellie carry this show into the future? And I get there is, more characters and things like that, but this kind of rests on Bella Ramsey's shoulders now. You know what I mean? I just don't know if she can carry it. And that's not like dissing her acting or anything like that. From the writing standpoint, I just don't like her as a character. I don't like Ellie right now in the show. So maybe they can change that around, make me feel a little bit more for her and things like that. But as of right now, no, I don't like her. I don't feel like the show is going in a great direction because of the way they handled things. That could have been this big surprise, Abby, why she's doing it, her motivations. That could have been a big surprise, but they wanted to spoil that just to give her more sympathy, which I feel was the wrong thing to do. But I'm just a fan. I have my opinion on it. I'd love to know your opinion. Let me know down in the comment sections below. What did you guys think of this episode of The Last of Us? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'd like to know down below. Hit that like button if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button if you want to get more content just like this. It always helps the channel grow. As always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.